So, the latest community goal saw the Sirius Corporation seeking to establish colonies for Marlinist refugees. Surprising? Not really. You see, everything unfolding right now is leading toward the formation of a Nova Imperium in the Coalsack Nebula. Just as a student of behavioral predictability would expect, in fact. And you know who the greatest exponent of behavioral predictability is? Li Yang Rui, the CEO of the Sirius Corporation. So let's take a leaf out of his thesis, Becoming the Watchmaker, and see which cogs and ticks and talks have led us to this point. Let's start with the Marlinists. Since the very first attack by the Neo-Marlinist Liberation Army, the fate of the Marlinists was sealed. Now ostracized by both the Empire and the Federation, it seems clear that the new colonies in the Coalsack Nebula represent a brave new frontier for the Marlinists, where they can escape both superpowers. The Alliance had already offered the Marlinists asylum, so this move by Sirius is perfectly logical given their joint venture in the Coalsack Nebula. Now we move to the other key players in the Marlinist story. Let's start with Jordan Rochester, Federal Ambassador and ex-fiancée of Imperial Princess Aisling Duval. Given his previous comment on the plight of the Marlinists, he would clearly endorse this move by Sirius, because not only does it give the Marlinists a new start, it also conveniently moves them out of Federation space, and so eases public tensions about harboring potentially violent dissidents. Next, Imperial Princess Aisling Duval herself. She would endorse this initiative as well. She is on record as having sympathies for the original Marlinists, as well as being a progressive in terms of bucking the accepted norms of the Empire. To her, this solution is the optimal humanitarian outcome. And lastly, we have Hadrian Duval, current leader of the Nova Imperium faction and illegitimate grandson of former Emperor Hengist Duval. Although he has been officially pardoned for the events of the Nova Imperium conflict in 3304, and has also been recognized as a member of the Imperial family, he has been deliberately denied the right to use the title of Prince, which effectively makes him an outcast from the Empire, just as the Marlinists are. So it would be perfectly logical for him to join a new ex-Imperial colony in the Coalsack. And if you're thinking that there may be some hidden agendas going on here, then you'd be right. Time to ask some more questions, then. Why would Jordan Rochester do this? Well, remember that it wasn't Jordan who broke off his engagement to Aisling Duval. It was his family, following a tabloid story about an alleged affair between Aisling and fellow anti-slavery campaigner Jarl Teredo, a story which was never actually proven. That was August 3304. The next month, September 3304, Jordan's older brother Jupiter Rochester, CEO of Core Dynamics, was at the center of a scandal involving his husband, actor Thomas Turai, who'd been having a secret extramarital affair with Olympic athlete Regan Lord for 3 years. The evidence for this story came from genuine intel, gleaned by illegally modified Achilles robots used by the Mars Tribune newspaper. The Rochester family threatened legal action against the Mars Tribune, something they did not offer Jordan when the gossip about Aisling hit the headlines. And remember, gossip is all it was. The accusations of Aisling's infidelity were never confirmed as truth. Also remember that Jordan's engagement caused Core Dynamic stocks to drop 18% in the previous month because of the Rochester family being linked with an imperial princess. Now, that's some serious grudge material right there. Top this all off with the news on November 24th, 3306 that Core Dynamics were launching an official bid to take over Lakon Spaceways, manufacturer of the Alliance Chieftain and Challenger. As with Core Dynamics' acquisition of Vodal, the manufacturer of SRVs, this was expected to be a done deal. However, things didn't quite turn out that way. Just 1 week later, On December 1st, 3306, Lacon officially rejected the bid. Given the persistent rumors of Lacon struggling financially in recent times, this suggests that Lacon perhaps has access to money from elsewhere. Their mysterious benefactor could be the Sirius Corporation itself. But what if that money was actually coming from Jordan Rochester? A direct snub for his brother Jupiter, and continued independence for Lacon, under the new banner of the Nova Imperium Alliance. Why would Aisling Duval do this? Aisling wants power. She has her own set of causes that are repeatedly under attack from official Imperial channels. She still believes herself to be the rightful heir to the Imperial throne, and regards the exclusion of her father Harold from direct succession on mental health grounds as a personal stigma. She may be the illegitimate daughter of a commoner, but she was still raised as an Imperial princess. And then we come to possibly the strongest reason. Love. You see, Aisling and Jordan were definitely in love. Why so certain? Let's put on our Li Yang Rui behavioral predictability hats again and peer a little closer. Some said she was only interested in Jordan Rochester's money, but consider this. Being the wife of a Federation ambassador would completely destroy any future claim she had on the throne. She would be seen as either a traitor or a federal pawn. So why would she risk losing all her power like that? Obviously, because the love is genuine. And so we can easily imagine Aisling Duval and Jordan Rochester hatching a plan that would allow them to be together once more, free from the interference of their respective families. At the head of a new democratic empire, they would have both power and love, along with the blessing and protection of the Alliance. By now, of course, I imagine you've already worked out why Hadrian Duval would support this plan. Hadrian almost died following an assassination attempt on him by the Neo-Marlinists, but his life was saved by the intervention of his older cousin Aisling. Hadrian is young, passionate, and idealistic. His dreams of a new empire, a Nova Imperium, still burn within him. If he can't return the old empire to its glory days, perhaps he can help set up a new one instead. And lastly, Edmund Mahon. What does he stand to gain from all of this? Alliance Prime Minister Edmund Mahon is not a man who makes rash decisions. He famously refused to provide aid in the Lu conflict of 3301, citing technical and legal obstacles. And yet, this same cautious and calculating politician has launched a joint venture to the Coalsack Nebula with the Sirius Corporation, and was undoubtedly aware of Sirius' plans to support the Marlinist refugees. The Alliance has already got on record as saying it would welcome Marlinist refugees in Alliance space, even though, at the time he made the announcement, no Marlinists had even approached the Alliance to seek asylum. Also, don't forget that Prime Minister Mahon is seeking re-election. With this Coalsack initiative, he would effectively have expanded the Alliance's territory and influence, while gaining the powerful support of Aisling Duval, the money and resources of Jordan Rochester, the continued collaboration of Lacon Spaceways, as well as being able to control Marlinist volatility by using the dynamic Hadrian Duval as a figurehead. So, don't be surprised if you see the name Coalsack Nebula replaced with Nova Imperium Alliance in the near future. Until next time, Commanders. Cheers.